Good afternoon and welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Desiree Duval, founder of An Empowered Woman and Homework. And I'm so excited to be telling you more about our event, our REN meeting event that we're having this Wednesday, 2 days from now, January 23rd from 6:30 to 9 in Rancho Santa Fe in San Diego. It's going to be from 6:30 to 9 and it's for women Real Estate and Vet Network, Women Real Estate Network. That's what REN stands for. And what our topic this week is fix and flips and how to really make money from them. Because many times people do fix and flips and they don't make money or they barely make it through. So Holly McCann, who's also known as Hard Hat Holly, that beautiful, I want one. You've earned yours though. She's been responsible for over 220 flips, fix and flips. So she knows a thing or two. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on today.
You're welcome. I'm just so fascinated about what you've done because that is no simple feat.
No.
So how long, so tell us a little bit what got you started, how long you've been doing it, and what prompted you to actually stay in this lane?
Sure. Well, it's my husband and I, we started over 10 years ago now. And we used to buy at the courthouse steps a trustee sale, but that opportunity dried up about, 5 years ago or maybe more. Mm-hmm. And then I really relied on my networking skills to go out and find houses to flip. So the last 120 plus houses we bought have been through my networking efforts. And wow. Even though this business mostly started out with my husband and me together, a couple of years ago, he decided he wanted to go back into corporate America. So it's been mostly me the last couple of years on my own. He consults on the challenging engineering aspects and structural things. So I wouldn't even buy those houses if it was to buy them and get involved with that. So then he still does those kind of things.
So do you still remember your very, very first house?
Oh, yeah. On Fort Cloud Drive in Moreno Valley. Yes, I remember.
And what was it?
It was just a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. I don't remember exactly. I think we probably paid about $100,000 for it, or maybe 120. And I remember that I think we broke even, or maybe even lost a little bit of money, but it's our first one where we over improved it, what many early flippers are guilty of doing, because we make it how we would want to live in it. But in Moreno Valley, that was too nice. So yeah, but we went on and did a lot better after learning some.
So as a whole, is it really a good business? Would you say it's a really good business in spite of all that? We're going to go into more the good, the bad, and the ugly, but this as a whole, is it a good way to go in real estate?
Yeah, it can be. There's a lot of pitfalls and potential for problems. And I know people that have lost everything, trying to do this business. So you've got to be really careful, know your numbers, know about proper leverage, not over leveraging. You don't take your money and all your friends and family money, put it in a deal and lose it, which I know a guy that did that once. That's really scary. So you definitely have to be systematic and use formulas and be careful when you do it.
Well, that's why I encourage people that, whether whoever's doing it, is that you attend as many opportunities as you can to learn more about it and speak to people who've been there and done that, because experience is the best teacher. And no matter what you're trying to learn in school, the people that have actually done it are the ones that will tell you what to do and how to do it. Because there are ways of being able to do it from the beginning that you can really be more assured that you're going to be profitable in it. So that's good. What's the best things about it? What are some of the best advantages about it and the good deals that you've done and the difference that it's made in not only your life, but I'm sure your family and your community?
Well, yeah, of course, it's great to make money from doing it, make lots of great money, but it's also really satisfying and rewarding to take an ugly, stinky problem house and make it beautiful and provide it to, typically a family that's going to come in and enjoy it and make great memories. So it's really rewarding to make something from ugly to beautiful. So that part of the business is fun. It's also really rewarding to provide lots of employment opportunities for all the contractors that work on my houses too. So It's great to be able to help them provide for their families. Sometimes we do deals where we might lose money or make a little, but then we have the ones where we might make 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. So every deal can be different. And of course, you've got to have more wins than losses to make it in this game. But you shouldn't also go into it expecting to never lose money. I've heard some investors say that if you never lose money, you're not taking enough risk, and it means you've left too many good deals on the table. So that's an interesting way of thinking about
it. And so when you're looking at a deal, what are some of the things that you look for? What's considered a good deal?
If you want me to get into the math of it, I'm looking to make at least a 12% return, cash on cash return. So that means, in like really basic, simple numbers, and this doesn't often happen in Southern California, but if I were to put $100,000 into a deal, I'd want to make at least $12,000 on that. Now, we don't really buy $100,000 houses. Most of the things we buy are between, I would say, 500 and 1.1 million. That's what we've been buying the last year. Mm-hmm. But that gives you and your listeners like kind of a general idea of, by the time you buy the house and you put the repair money into it, we still want to make a 12% return on that money. And also, if you do that twice a year, which, hopefully you can, if you can do it every 6 months, then doing that twice a year would give you 2 times 12 or 24% return on your money, which sounds like, oh, so great and high. You don't always hit it. And then additionally, you got to consider that this is not a passive investment. You're actively managing your contractors and doing the work. So you want to get a good return for your money. You should expect, 24, 25% a year. So I don't know if that's TMI, but that's the math that we think about.
No, but that's really valuable because some people don't even have that, in their mind. They don't know. They just know, okay, it's a good price. I'm gonna fix it up, and they have no idea what's going to cost to do it. And that's the biggest thing, is that I find that people, when we've done fix and flips, you can see, they can estimate so much, but then sometimes there's always those surprises. You open the walls and you see something that you did not anticipate, and it could be a huge expense, which just change the numbers drastically. Have you had that happen?
Oh, yes. We find mold. We figure out that we need to change out a whole electrical panel that we didn't know. Maybe a sewer line that goes under the house is bad. Those are some I've just thought of in the last 6 months that we've encountered. So there's almost always, I can't think of anything where like you just have smooth sailing and expenses come in less than what you expected. They always come in more. There's always unknowns when you start tearing into a house.
Well, the next thing too is having a good crew. So do you have a good crew that would work with you consistently? That makes a big difference as far as your prices, and people that are knowledgeable, that are good at time. They don't waste a lot of time, that they're honest, not going to steal a lot of the supplies and so forth. Tell us about that, how important that is.
It's so hard to find good contractors, as most investors bemoan. Like, that's what we talk about. We get together. Hey, do you have any contractors? No. Do you have any good ones? No. It's like they're naughty children or something. I have one guy that's been with me for probably like 8 years now.
Wow.
I have my issues with him too, of going too slow, and they get too complacent, too comfortable, and maybe don't perform as well as you and as quickly as you wish they would. But yeah, that's always a problem. And I'm always looking for more and new contractors. Sometimes we'll kind of sub out more things. Sub out means like with subcontractors. So just today on this one flip I've got going in Carlsbad, I thought, okay, well, if I get one guy to do the cabinets and the plumbing, electrical, in order to speed things up, even though he can do everything himself, I'm like, I'm going to get a separate painter and a separate tile guy, because that way everything can kind of be going at once, as long as they don't fight with each other, which sometimes and it's like, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. And then here we are, the referee in the middle, like kind of like, oh my gosh, guys, can you just calm down and somebody take responsibility and solve the problem? So
So that's the good. And then after the fact, like you mentioned, it's just really nice. For me, I always approach it as like a canvas, like an art piece. Like here I get a chance to take something and just, that immediate gratification of knowing that now it's beautiful, it's clean, it's styled, this way that you can, just really, it's like a canvas, being able to work with something and create something that people will come and appreciate and enjoy for years to come.
Yeah.
So so that's the good. So what about the bad? What's the worst part of it? Like, what's the bad part of this industry, fix and flips?
For this last year, I would say kind of the worst part of it was a particular contractor who really took advantage of us I trusted him, paid him too much in advance, and then he disappeared on me. So that's a problem. That's a challenge. That slowness of contractors, dishonesty of contractors, I would say those are probably some of the biggest challenges. And then as well, right now we have a changing market. The market in general in Southern California is beginning to slow down for the most part, not everywhere, but as it slows down, you got to build that risk and that potential downturn of price into your projection and your plan. So if you're starting to have depreciation, you want to make sure you get in and get out before too much depreciation happens, and you don't want to be in a loss situation.
And so do you finance all your deals, or you get investors, or you go for traditional financing?
We have done all kinds of things. I've never done traditional financing in the sense of getting a bank loan at 5% interest like you would on a home that you live in. I've used hard money loans, and I've used private investor money, just friends and family that we know that will ask if they'd like the opportunity to earn. I offer 8 to 10% interest for them to be investors in my projects. So that's for the most part, and then our own cash as well. So I love leverage. I love using hard money loans. Oh, and then one I'm just buying. I just bought it last week. This is a little advanced, but it's just like information to kind of throw out there. Maybe we can talk about it more at your event, but it's called a subject to deal. So I'm buying a house in Anaheim for $400,000. Very heavy fixer. It's disgusting. Way more animals than people lived in the house, I think. Seven large dogs, 8 cats, and 4 people in this little 3-bedroom house. Anyway, I'm leaving in place a home equity line of credit on it for $250,000. So I only had to come in with $150,000 to close on that $400,000 purchase. I'm buying the home subject to the existing mortgage. That's what that language means. So that's like a super great opportunity. And the previous owner had passed away. So the daughter that's selling it, she's like, yeah, I don't care if you take another 4 months or 5 months to pay off my mom's loan. She doesn't need her credit. And I was able to give her a higher price because of that. So I know it's a little advanced, but some people.
That's great. But that's what people, again, this is a way that sometimes people say, I want to do fix and flips. And sometimes there's people that find the houses, they don't have the money, they don't have the credit, they can't qualify it. And we say partner with somebody that does, possibly, or be creative. And then you just shared an example of how there's many, many creative ways of being able to get into a property, especially if there's a good upside, for it. So absolutely. And that's what they're going to learn when they visit us on Wednesday. It's all these different ways of being able to do it. And then also people that they can do it with. So good, bad, the ugly. What is like the ugliest situation you've been in that's like, oh my gosh, either in house or terms or time or dollars?
Okay. Back in the older days when we would buy homes through auction and trustee sale, the occupants were very upset that they were losing their houses, even though they're the ones that didn't make their payments and they probably stayed in way too long. There would be human feces smeared on walls, on carpet, like all over. They would just I can't even believe that they would do it. Like, oh my gosh, it was so disgusting. But that's really gross. And then, dead rats and urine-soaked concrete foundation that the smell just wouldn't go away. When I went into that house to buy it, when I was meeting with the seller and the realtor, I just looked at them. I thought I was going to throw up. The stench from all the urine in the house was so overpowering. I said, I'm sorry, ladies, I'm going to need to step outside. And I excused myself. I mean, yeah, the smells and all that is really disgusting. That's the ugliest, stinkiest, grossest thing. But you know what we say in this industry? That is the smell of money. That means
That's great. That's great. Well, that's why you're there, to
exactly
make that change. So I'm so excited to see you again on Wednesday. And thank you for sharing. And what would you like to leave our listeners with today?
Well, if you're thinking about getting into real estate investing, there's so many different ways people can do it. They can buy and hold as a landlord. They can fix and flip. So just get educated, learn about what the opportunities are. and then learn about all the resources for money. If you don't have your own money, there's lots of opportunities to borrow money and get investors. It's just a really fun and rewarding investment opportunity. So learn about it, and people can come to hardhatholly.com to learn more about me. Watch my tips on YouTube, and I don't show any human excrement videos, but I do have lots of great tips on there for people too. And I'm excited for tomorrow night. So yeah, come on out.
Wednesday. It's not tomorrow, is it? No, it's Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday night. Wednesday night. I just skipped a day because I'm so excited. But yeah, I'm excited to come and share and answer people's questions and just share however I can to help people.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you for joining us. And as I mentioned, if you go to meetup.com for REN, WREN, which is a San Diego, and it'll be Fix and Flips. Or otherwise, just contact us at Homework, which is 818-292-5559. That's Desiree from An Empowered Woman and Homework, 818-292-5559. We'll see you on Wednesday. Take care.